now we're taking Marie into the future of fashion.
You had like the lipstick robot.
Yeah,
you had like the fashion thing with like where you could look at a camera and then you could kind of select which clothes you want to try on and then you could put it on.
Yeah, it was interesting, but I mean, I'm like fashion and like zero. Like this kind of dress I have for maybe like 8 years. So.
Allez, try it again. Taking Marie to the future of fashion.
I'm telling you that if there will be like a car sustainable, I'm rather like also for the sustainable clothing or like to spend less time as possible in the shops. And I didn't really see some kind of solution that would actually help me with how to get me nice clothes as fast as possible. I mean, there was like that you can try the clothing like in the virtual reality or it was like hologram.
It was like a hologram space where when you were looking at the camera, you could go through like a catalog of clothes and then that camera would show those clothes on your own body, which was kind of cool. It helped you try out new clothes without actually trying them on physically.
Which is really great because I think I'm not the only woman who actually hates the fitting rooms. You have to wait long. Also, like they have really horrible lights, so you see things that you don't want to see. So I think that this is something that it might be really useful in the future.
Fashion makeup.
I am telling you, when they will do the sustainable car. I also saw that they had, when you are actually making the physical clothing, they actually had like some nanotechnology of making the boobs like as real as possible on the figurine, because the problem is that actually most of the figurines, they are not as realistic as the woman body. So then they actually made this kind of solution where they can then make clothing as much comfortable for the women as possible. Still in this sense, I believe that no bra is better bra.
I approve.
There was a lot of like women empowerment panels and that I think were really interesting and touching lots of taboo topics, such as, for example, the underwear for the women, like after the surgery, after giving birth.
Yes, the C-section.
Yeah, the C-section, which actually were helping you to then have less pain, etc. So this was really interesting. But I think that it was also for you really interesting to be in these kind of panels with me as a man, because I think that there is like a gap on the market for men empowerment, like bringing men to the table to speak about the change in the society.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is a sensitive topic, I think, from time to time. I do believe that there's a time and place where men should also be able to talk about these kind of things amongst ourselves and also with women. I think in general, we should not start segmenting or isolating certain parts of our society in like, okay, this is women in tech. It should just be like people in tech where whoever you are, everyone has an equal right at the seat of the table and to give their expertise on a subject. I think that's actually where we need to start going toward. I think that's something that you also taught me, is that we should not be so focused on women in tech. It should be more like people in tech where men and women have an equal say. And that is something I think from a male perspective, I'm sometimes skewed in the sense that I'm very much like, yes, women in tech is a super good initiative because you deserve to have that space at the table. But then I never really thought about it from your perspective, where you're like, I don't need to be in women in tech because that puts me in a box that I'm a woman and not that I'm in tech. I think you really triggered me there to really think about it, and I think it's something worth exploring also further, that indeed it's not about women in tech, it's about people in tech where everybody has an equal seat at the table.
Yes, exactly. You nicely wrap it. You nicely wrap it up. How like I see also like a women empowerment. So we had actually like kind of exchange there. It's also the couple where he was like, oh, see, there is like women empowerment. Oh, see, there is like this women thing. And I was kind of, like triggered from the relationship perspective, like Yeah, but I'm not really like into these things. Like I'm telling you that if there will be like a car sustainable, I'm going to. I really think that it's great initiative because I think that many women they feel safer that they can open towards like how they approach engineering, and it's really important to have the mentorships, etc. about these things to actually trigger women. Like you are powerful, you can make it, you can be an engineer, and we will support you. There is like a community of the people who will actually be supporting you. But on the other hand, I don't like to some extent participate in these initiatives because I feel that at the end, even though I am educated by the Women in Tech or like other initiatives, that at the end I will actually meet a man in my career, and this is usually happening in more seniority, where actually I am rather looking for more challenges. I want to rather be taught on the level of like where we are all together. I want to get more absorb the perspective of the men, how do they see the engineering, and I want to bring my perspective on the subject that no, even though you see it from this perspective, I can bring another expertise to the table, and we are both equal in the same table. And it's exactly how you say it, like people in tech. It's not like women in tech, because men also doesn't have it. Men empowerment, men doesn't have it like a men in tech. It's like we are not like a black and white. It's not like polarized like this, like women and men. We should be all together, and men should actually get used to us being in the table and listen to our opinions, even because they were driving the technology for really like centuries and decades. So of course, for us as women, it's really difficult sometimes to understand how the technologies are made, because for men it's much more intuitive and much more natural to understand the engineering. However, the more we will be feeling isolated from them, the less impact it will have on the society as such, because at the end, we need men and men needs us, and we need to be in the table all together. And I feel more fulfilled when I am actually around the table with 50-50 men and women. I can listen, I can learn from the people, I can be challenged, and I can also make impact on the topic as such.
I can't agree more than that. So we're coming to the end of our first vlog.
Yeah!
Oh, why are you happy?
It's the first vlog!
Ah, yes, yay! We're coming to the end.
Yeah, but we will have another one.
We will have another one, yes.
I think that we could also sense both of us that we were getting on the crossroad of many topics that we wanted to evaluate more in depth, and we also, even though like it was a vlog, we didn't really have an agenda, or we had like a semi-structured vlog today, and we were like also, I have so many ideas right now after this 1.5 hour. Like
so many more topics that we can deep dive into for the next vlogs that we can do. I don't know, it's also up to you, like what would you like us to discuss next time?
Like well-being, artificial intelligence, or
robotics,
metaverse,
mental health in the virtual reality, Elon Musk,
or even tip and tricks for the work life.
Yes. Leave a comment what you want us to talk about next. Yeah.
And don't forget to write a comment inspired if we inspired you even in this first series of the vlog, because it would make us really happy. Don't forget to also follow us on Instagram and subscribe on the YouTube.
Hit the like, hit the subscribe. See you next time.
See you. Bye.